See, camera angle is perfect. Okay. Yep. Greetings and salutations, my fellow carbon-based lifeform compatriots of the internet. Raymond Robotnik here, back with another video of my video diary. My mother insisted that I do another one of these, and I thought one is more than enough to get the message out, Mother. But she said, you really need to let people know about your opinion, and don't talk about what you did last time. It seemed a little bit melancholy a bit. So I decided to pick a topic of what to talk about. And I decided, why not talk about Sonic? Why not talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Bird, or the the Warrior of the Wind? He didn't give himself that one. I tried to come up with his other nicknames. Couldn't think of any. But what to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, all I know is that he is an alien of our Earth. To him, well, not too long ago, I was doing some research and I found out through tales that Sonic, Knuckles, and all their friends are from a planet known as Mobius. Quite an interesting name to give a planet. But it actually works then giving it a name such as AT5 or BZ219 or Alpha Beta Bravo 779. But giving it an actual name is more cathartic. But I learned that Sonic was born on Mobius. But one interesting thing is that he does not know about his true family, not too much. But he did learn a little bit. I was visiting with him not too long ago, and I noticed this sort of crunchy, partially burnt picture. And it was a picture of Sonic as a baby, along with two older hedgehogs and two other little baby hedgehogs. I learned Sonic is a triplet. And I couldn't stop myself from asking questions. What are your family members' names? Is this your sister? Is that your brother? What are their names? Are they able to run at 300 miles per hour just like you? What? And he said, I don't know. This is the only clue I've had of them. And I had a very good chance to look at the picture. I must say that by hedgehog standards, his mother is rather beautiful. But I could not make any decision about his father's face because that part was burned out. But I did get a very good look at his brother and his sister. I bet if they were here right with him right now, I can imagine their personalities. His sister seems a little bit elegant, meanwhile his brother seems a little bit brash. But that's merely just his past. Other than that, Sonic was basically raised by his Uncle Chuck, another hedgehog, his father's big brother. And Charles basically helped Sonic into the Freedom Fighters, a group of Mobians fighting against my cousin to help liberate them from his tyranny. And that's actually quite an interesting thing. However, there was a raid at one of their bases and Chuck was captured and robosized, a process that I will never forgive my cousin for. But other than that, Sonic has come to our Earth under orders from his second foster parent, Longclaw, an anthropomorphic owl from Mobius. And under her orders, he was to come to our Earth to hide. Lucky for him, he was able to find the Wachowskis. I gotta say, seeing that kind of family, a young couple like that, raise Sonic to what he is now is actually quite an interesting thing to do. But they love him and they take care of him. That's good enough. They've even taken Knuckles and Tails under their wings as well. Well, that's the family side of it. But what about the science? What about the Robotnik thinking about this? I must say, Sonic's speed is phenomenal. By himself, he's able to move his little feet 300 to make himself go 300 miles per hour. That's rather impressive for someone so small. For humans, that's physically impossible. The fastest human alive so far, fastest human alive was Usain Bolt, who set a record in the 100-meter dash at 9.55 seconds. He's able to nearly run 28 miles per hour. That is impressive. That's very impressive. But Sonic is able to go 300. If Sonic ran, now there's something we should check. If Sonic Hedgehog ran a 100-meter dash, the race would be over in a mere second. That is phenomenal. That's insane. It's rather impressive. Of course, I must say that Usain Bolt would probably have his jaw on the gravel from seeing Sonic run so fast. But it makes you wonder, how did he get this ability? But that's another part of where my research had begun. I found out that Sonic and other Mobians have this thing called chaos power. Or what was it? Chaos energy. That's what it was. Chaos energy. I read that from my grandpa Gerald's. Slow down, Raymond. Slow down. I had read that in my grandpa Gerald's notebook when he was doing research on Shadow. Apparently, all Mobians have access to chaos energy, but some of it affects them in different ways. For Tails, for example, because of his two tails, he's able to spin them fast enough, like helicopter blades, which allows him to levitate off the ground. He could go as high as he wants. Obviously, for Sonic, it affects his speed. For Knuckles, pretty obvious. It affects his muscles. He's not just all muscles and chaos, bounty hunting or treasure hunting. He's all of his chaos energy actually taps into his muscles, allowing him to lift a mere boulder that is 10 times his weight above his head and even smash it to pieces. It's amazing. I personally think Sonic is a very interesting subject. He's a good friend, but on a Robotnik standpoint, he's a very interesting subject. He's actually worth a lot of research when he's feeling up to it. And I don't mean taking a scalpel and slicing him open. No, I am not one of those Robotniks. But he and his friends, they may actually be worth some documentation. This is Raymond Robotnik, signing off.